This one has been revitalized over the last few years, really starting to take off a lot. But there are some growing pains. There are some things that could be done better for sure. And in this video, we're going to be diving deep, as always, into all of them. Now, after you watch this one, make sure that you guys go check out the vlog so you can get some visual, representation of what we are describing in this video right here. But right now, we're going to give you just a straight, raw, honest review of Kannapolis, and we're going to dive really deep into all these things. We talk about location, commute, schools, everything you could think of. Starting off, as always, what's your overall honest review of the Kannapolis area in 2025?
And it's becoming a very popular area. It is a popular area. There's a lot of development going on, and it's definitely growing.
Growing, it's far away, right? Do you feel that in 2025, with everything Charlotte has going on, do you feel that 30-minute commute is realistic? Or do you feel that it is more and it may not be worth it if you're working downtown or uptown? Like, what's your thoughts there?
So, is it worth it, the 30-minute commute to uptown? Man, that depends, because sometimes, like you literally just said, it can definitely be more than 30 minutes, especially, if you're traveling on a highway with the traffic going in and out. It can easily sometimes double. Now, is it worth it? The nice thing about Kannapolis, I know we're going to get into this as well, is it's affordable, right? Having access, like as far as like, being able to buy your first home or things like that, that is possible in Kannapolis. So you just have to sacrifice that commute just a little bit, just a little bit. So I think so. I think it's worth it, especially the way Kannapolis is expanding. I think the town is going to get better and better and better, and I think it's a good place to maybe put your money and invest.
I agree. Is it at that point though? Because, all right, so my opinion, right? My opinion. And let me know if you go against it.
Okay.
But in my opinion right now, if you want to get the house, right, affordability, I don't know if it justifies the commute as far as the amenity goes and what you get locally just yet. If you're the type of person that can get through the growing pains of revitalization, one lanes turning into two, turning into three, no nightlife, or not that much nightlife, like, you know what I'm saying? Smaller downtowns. I don't know if I'm at that point yet, personally, to be able to justify the 45 minutes I know I'm sitting in traffic one way to get back at home from work if I work in Uptown. If I work up there, cool, right? If not, I don't know, Kev. I don't know.
I get that. It just depends on how important is it to get a bang for your buck for your housing.
I can agree there. I can agree.
If you want to live closer to Uptown, you're gonna have to spend more or sacrifice maybe the niceness of the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Okay.
So you can
Describe that. Describe what you mean.
So you might be able. So let's say in Kannapolis, you can get, for example, new construction. Let's say we're talking about first-time home buyers, right? Want to buy an entry-level house, 1,500 square feet or so, right? Just a nice little entry home, right? Nothing too crazy, but nice. You can find that in Kannapolis below, like 350 or below. I would say between 300 and 350. You can find that. It could be a brand new construction. Now, trying to find it in Charlotte.
Please.
Can you do it? Yes. Is that a neighborhood you might want to live in? Maybe not. Right? So your proximity gets better, but your surrounding might not get better. It might actually get worse. So it's just a trade-off at that point, right? Are you okay with living in a place that's maybe not as nice, or where people start parking all their cars and having like a full-on mechanic shop in their front yard? Or do you want something, I live in a nice little neighborhood with a brand new house. I sacrifice my commute or sacrifice my surrounding.
I can see that there. And your numbers are spot on, man. I just literally looked up all the averages. Median home, right? And I know median home in Kannapolis, 320, average. Average 320, median was 300. So your comparison, was spot on, man. Like, I agree 1,000%. Even like you said, you go give up your safety versus the commute. I agree there. I'm taking the Commute every time. Starter homes, even new construction, you can get something 350 to 500, which in Charlotte is going to be 500 to 7. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or especially if you inside anywhere inside the 485 there. So I definitely agree. Um, Only thing I don't like about Kannapolis, again, I know I'm probably being negative here, but
That's cool, man.
it's it looked like an old southern town to me. There's no sidewalks outside of downtown. Them houses is small, Kev. On some of them streets, and we already don't have basements in Charlotte, right? So you talking about it's a 2,000 square foot ranch, right? No basement. So where do you have the storage? Some of them streets don't even have street lights on them, Kev.
That's true.
So
You find
you
that
know
there.
what I'm saying, man? I mean, the
find that there.
350 sound good. It sound good.
Kannapolis still has some growing to do in order
Okay.
to, it's yes, but it is a place that is growing.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely growing. It's also close to Concord, which is the biggest suburb,
Yep.
the
Okay.
biggest suburb in Charlotte, right? It's like literally right next door.
Mm.
So it's gonna be there. I mean, future plans because I have friends. I know actually a good amount of people that new construction, and they love buying lots in Kannapolis because it's a place that still provides affordable housing to people, and it's an up and coming place, right?
Yep. For sure. When they started that downtown revitalization, was that 2018, 2019, something like that?
I don't remember exactly, but it wasn't that far. It wasn't that
Yeah,
far
it's.
removed.
I mean,
Yeah.
Cannonballers, they doing their thing, man. They got the whole. Basically, that surrounds the downtown right there. So that's nice. I do want to see. One thing I can't say, I like because it feels homey, right? That's one vibe you definitely get in Kannapolis. It feels homey. And then it also is a lot of local businesses. I think that's probably one of the greatest parts. You don't got a lot of big box down there. You don't have, all commercial buildings that all look the same, but it might be a private owner in there paying a exorbitant amount of money in rent. So I do like that feel. I love Dale Earnhardt, statue and everything down there. So I love what they have. It's a very, very community driven place, from the mayor on down to everybody else. That's one thing I can say, and the safety is dope as well too. The living, we gotta, unless you can find some good land, that's my only hiccup. But I do love the community feel. They have a dope environment. They do a lot of things outside down there, which is really nice. And the scenery is obviously beautiful with the growing that they definitely putting down in there. So nightlife though, would you still travel or would you just stay where you at?
Sure, you have to.
Yeah.
You have to travel. I mean,
Uh-huh.
it depends on what you're looking for. So, I guess we have to narrow it down for everybody. Like, it depends on what you define as nightlife. If
Mhm.
you are a person that just wants to, let me go grab a beer, hang out with a couple of friends, conversations, shut it down by 10, 11, maybe, yeah, you probably don't, you can probably find that there. You can find that there. Now, if you're somebody be like, you know what, I want to hear loud music, I want to dance my butt off, and I want to do it, you got to commute.
Right.
Yeah. So
Understood.
you pick your definition of life, and then you have to decide, and then it will tell you if you have to commute or not. But more than likely, you're going to commute.
Yeah. And you know me, man. I'm a bar guy, so I'm not going too far.
Same, man. I left that in my 20s. No more.
Long time ago.
Yeah.
Long time ago.
That-
Now I got a question for you though. I got a question because it seems like a lot of stuff is moving up north, right? You already got Mooresville, you already got Huntersville. I'm not saying that Kannapolis is going to become the next one, but do you think if they just get, let's call it 5,000 new people, right? Which is a lot of people, but that's what they're projecting. Like they're trying to get that place to 100,000 people in the next 10 years. Do you think the rapid growth will destroy that community feel that we were just both agreeing to? Like, what's your thoughts?
Yes, I think over time it is. Like even if you look at like Huntersville and Concord, they are not that homey anymore. They don't have that quaintness like the Kannapolis or Belmont would have.
Yeah.
You see like a lot of big box stores, strip malls, and stuff like that, and I think that will take away from that. Right now, they will probably still preserve that core, like that downtown area, right? So you still get that, but as soon as you start venturing out, I think it's going to become more commercialized like that.
Yeah. Okay.
That's my
I
personal. That's my opinion.
I agree. No, I agree. I mean, for sure, I agree. Do you think they're gonna reach that 100,000 though in 10 years? Like that's a lot of
Yeah,
people, man.
that's a lot of people.
It's a
But
lot of
that I
people.
mean,
10, 20 years.
if 100,000, literally, this is going to be because you have that is going to melt almost like two suburbs or even three together, right? Because Concord and Kannapolis are pretty much already right there, right? As far as like proximity goes. If they venture out a little further west, then they're going to start hitting into Huntersville, right? I mean, you also have Harrisburg, in there as well. I think
Right.
this is literally just going to be like one. If they really reach 100,000 people, that's huge, man. Because that's I mean, if you combine literally, because Concord is already at 100,000.
Right. Right.
And then if they do as well, then they're pretty much close. That's 200. That's
They
man.
got another mid-sized city up there.
Yeah, for sure, like right there. So
Yeah, pretty much. How fast Charlotte is growing too. People don't have a choice but to move out, right? They don't have, and if they want that water, now you're a little bit further from the water, but if you want some type of water around you, right, or just to take advantage of that, I feel like yes, that's the place to go. And I was just having this discussion with somebody too, as far as in big cities like that. We just had that. If you guys watched last week, we talked about Dilworth and South End. That's going to be everywhere. Even if you look at Atlanta, you can't be or live or buy anything in Atlanta close to downtown. Oh, less than a mil. So it's like people are going to, especially with the affordability, interest rates are still at 7.5%, right? And the uncertainty of the market and what's going on politically, people have no choice but to move out that way. So if I hear 320 anything and it's a decent to safe area, I mean, I agree, man. 10 years though, I don't know about the 10, 20, maybe
yeah, I mean, 10 years is
15,
ambitious.
20.
You know,
Yeah,
yeah, 10 years might be ambitious, and you don't know what's going to happen, right?
true,
If the
true.
growth is going to pick up or slow down, because right
Yep.
now Charlotte still has a good amount of growth.
Hmm.
So yeah, we'll see. Now, while you were saying it, I was thinking, where else would this growth happen that would be as beneficial? I
Ooh,
can't think of another place that's gonna, as far as proximity to the city, that's gonna be just as good.
that's a
Because
great point.
to the south you have Waxhaw and Weddington, but those areas are pretty pricey, right? So
Oh yeah,
it's going to be
already.
harder for people to go there.
Yeah.
Even with Matthews, that's pretty pricey.
Hmm.
If you go out to the west, you have Belmont, Mount Holly, which that would be another area, but it's a little bit pricier as well
Yep.
compared to Kannapolis, right? So that literally seems like literally the best area to have the expansion with something affordable for people to go without having to spend, big city prices. So
Yo, that's good, man. That's good. That's a great. I like that. That's good. That's good. Because even when you first started, when you first said it too, I'm like, oh, just go down south. But I'm like, well, Weddington, that's acre lots on estates, so
that is
it's not like
pricey.
people can flood down there.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
yeah, and then Waxhaw is right there. Even when we just did the vlog, I mean, they're beautiful. They're beautiful areas, but I mean that's countries in some parts that you can't build on unless it's gonna tear down that estate value or whatever the case may be. So or cutting into their land. Um, do you feel that because they're the last or one of the last infrastructures there, do you feel that their infrastructure will be done correctly? You go down to Waxhaw, it's still one lane roads, right? You go up there, do you think they will expand first for the growth? Or they're just gonna backtrack like everybody else, grow first, and there's congestion everywhere?
And I hope that they do infrastructure first. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I hope so, but then again, it's hard to predict. Obviously now they have to go off what the current trends are with the growth, right? It's still around
Okay.
100 people on a daily basis on average, or something like that, right? That are still coming to Charlotte. Um, I I want and I hope that they are going to go infrastructure, and then with the development, or it happens kind of simultaneous. Um, but I don't know. That's a hard one. I don't go to the city council meetings.
Maybe we should start,
Maybe
man.
we should
Maybe
start.
we should start.
Maybe we should start.
Yeah.
But
All right. Here's a good question for you. Or I'll give you some preface though, right? Kannapolis School is not the best, right? It's only 3 high schools up there,
yes,
right? A.L. Brown is the biggest one that they have, right? And this is from greatschools.com. They're around a 2 out of 10. Test scores are 5 out of 10, right? So not the best, but a whole lot of students. You're talking about almost 1,800 students from 9 to 12. 19 to 1 student ratio, right? So you don't have the best schools. You got some commutes you have to think about. But you have that community vibe. You got that feel. You have that place that you know is growing and is literally dumping money into the city for them to grow, right? The question I have for you is, does the family-friendly environment compensate for the fewer educational choices? Because the other 2 schools only have 200 students and the other one is like a private school. So, does the family-friendly environment compensate for the fewer education choices? And the reason why I ask you that is because in this environment, you got some people who homeschool anyways, so they're just going for the community, right? They don't believe in public school, no way. You have others, nah, I'm sending my child, they going 8 to 5, 8 to 3, whatever the case may be. So, with the downgrade of the public schools versus the area that's up and coming, do you think those new people will be able to pour more into the education system? Or do you think you just got to compensate and sacrifice that to move out there?
cool. Let's dissect that. Obviously, everybody has to make their own opinions or make their own decision of how they want their kids being educated. If that's homeschool, private school, right, or whatever it might be, right? So whatever your stands are, just take it with a grain of salt. But this is my opinion. With the growth, I think the education at some point is hopefully is going to improve, because if you have more growth in the city, that means there's more money floating around the city, more taxes being spent, which hopefully are also going to get trickled into the education system of Kannapolis, right? Which then you can do more, you hire better teachers, or you can do more classes, whatever makes the school a little bit better. You have the funds to improve it, take it from a 2 out of 10 to a 5 out of 10 to etc. Right? Takes time, but maybe now you have the means to do so. In the meantime, before this happens, because we mentioned this, Kannapolis is really close to Concord, and Concord school is actually pretty good. If you can, there are sections in Kannapolis that fall into Concord schools. So if you can find a home that your kid now gets assigned to a Concord school, that could be an option. So
that's nice. Yeah, that would be good. Do you know, is those 2 different zip codes up there?
yes.
Like, does Kannapolis split?
Kannapolis,
I can't remember.
I think it's 28083 and 2808084. Okay. 084. I don't remember what Concord is right on top of my head, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Last thing, and we're gonna get out of here, man. So, one thing I can't say about Kannapolis is it's definitely diverse, right? Just off the last 2020 census, you got about 55% white, 22% black, 2.5% Asian. But what's beautiful is that they got about a 16%, 15.9% Hispanic community. So that's nice. It's definitely a great diverse area. Concord is too, though. But it's definitely a nice diverse area, so it does give you that feel. And again, to your point earlier, man, I think that's why a lot of people are looking at Kannapolis to kind of help out with that, because it's basically, if they get 100,000, man, Concord has 100,000. That's another mid-sized city up there, basically by itself. So they have no choice but to get all the money, all the funding, and then hopefully they build up some nightlife and some street lights up there.
They want to make it entertaining so they can grow it to 100,000 people, right?
There you go. Man, something. But we covered a lot in this video, guys. If you guys have any questions, as always, make sure you guys reach out to us. No matter what the question is, big or small, make sure you guys reach out to us. You got our emails, you got our phone numbers, and you got the website down there. So to wrap this up, Kevin, any of your famous last words before we get out of here?
Yep. As always, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We appreciate you. And while we appreciate these videos that we get to make for you, we love to help you call Charlotte your home. So if you would like to see Kannapolis yourself, hit us up. We'll take you on a tour, find the right property for you. But until then, see you next time.